Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. This is some pretty cool stuff that I found recently. Haven't seen a lot of decent stuff out in the wild for a while, so it's pretty cool to find the stuff that I was able to pick up recently. So let me get into this, but the first thing I wanted to show you was the stuff that I picked up from the Tri-City video game swap, which was in Waterloo just a couple weekends ago here. I haven't really got around to making this video. I just got a chance now, so I'm pretty happy to be able to show this stuff to you guys right now. I didn't pick up a whole lot of things, and I was kind of working on one deal, and I was really trying to work on the vendor on it, and he really wouldn't go for the deal, so that one sort of fell through, but the stuff I got was pretty amazing. So let me get started here. First thing I picked up is Midway Greatest Arcade Hits Volume 1, and I got this is for the Dreamcast, obviously. I got this in kind of a deal that I worked out with another fellow YouTuber, so that's pretty cool right there. Basically, he runs a flea market locally to where I'm at, and I had a sort of bag of stuff on me, and I let him pick out a bunch of different games, and then I gave him a price that I wanted for them. And he was sort of mulling it over a little bit, and I said, you know, if I take a game out of your, inventory here, can we knock that off the amount that you're going to give me and kind of make a deal that way? So he had this one priced for 25 bucks, so basically I took $25 off of the amount that he was going to give me, and ended up with this game and some cash. And the cash I was going to use was for that alternate deal. I was trying to get a Sega Master System power-based converter, which would allow you to play Master System games on a Genesis, or in this case on a Retron 5, which is, I was really looking for like the legit, like, old one kind of thing. I know you can get like a Hyperkin, or not a Hyperkin, I can't remember what the name of the company is that makes the other ones. I was talking about it with Josh Creepley. We were talking about that a little bit, but I really wanted to get like one of the legit ones. Unfortunately, like I said though, that deal didn't go through because he was highly undervaluing what I was offering him, and way overvaluing the power-based converter. So that deal didn't fall through, but I ended up coming home with some cash, so that was kind of nice at the same token. Sort of near the end of the show, I was running around and I was looking for this game. It kind of sprung to mind. I wasn't really looking for it when I showed up, but then I kind of remembered it as I was thinking back through some of the things that I needed just to complete boxes or whatever that I had. And this game came up, which is Tetris 2, which, if you remember from a couple of episodes ago, I picked up the boxing manual and like the styrofoam and everything like that for this game, but I didn't have the actual game, and it came with the Game Boy game. So I ended up picking up this one. The vendor had $8 on it. I offered $5 and he took it. Other vendors had this for like $15, others had it for $10. I really wanted to get it for $5, and I found someone that was willing to do that. So really cool deal right there. And then right at the end of the show, I was talking to Josh, which is, again, Creepy. I just mentioned him earlier here, but I picked up this from him. We did a trade, and I got Bat and Kaitos for the Gamecube, so pretty cool right there. It's all complete, and it's like really nice and minty shape. And I have the second one already, which I picked up from a previous swap meet, and I really wanted to get the first one as well. So now I have that in the collection. I'm pretty happy to be able to add that one in and have sort of like that set of them complete for the Gamecube. So that was really nice. The next thing I wanted to show you here, I'll just have to grab these, but I picked up from the Talese a couple of wireless gaming routers, or I guess not routers, are they game adapters kind of thing. It basically makes like an Xbox or a PS2 go wireless. So I picked up two of these. They were $5 each. I can't remember if I used a like whatever percentage off kind of card on these. I don't think I did, but they pretty much are brand new because they still have like the wrapping on the front of them. I mean, originally they would have came in a box or something, but still cool nonetheless, and hopefully be able to figure something out with the original Xboxes to use these for. I think it would be kind of neat. That's really why I picked them up, kind of curious about if they would still work with modern routers and hooking that all up, and as far as getting like maybe like a LAN party going, but with these kind of things. So it'd be kind of interesting to see if I can do that. I'm not totally certain about that. On a different day, walked into a Value Village and I picked up this, which is just one of these 360 to PC kind of things. So you plug that into your PC and you can connect your the Xbox 360 controller to it. So I decided to pick that up. It was only $3. I thought it was a pretty good deal for one of these. I think they typically go for around 10 to 15, maybe even like 20 sometimes. So it's like the legit OEM one. I know you can get like cheap knockoff ones, but the one I have is the older one, like the white model kind of one. So I'm wondering if this is sort of like a newer model just because it's a different color. But that being said, that's why I picked that one up, just for in case I want to connect a controller to a PC. This was pretty cool. I picked this up at Toulouse, and this came out of a bag of a bunch of other stuff that's pretty much useless. But I picked up, and this is kind of interesting if you've never seen one before. It's an RF unit specifically for a TurboGrafx 16, which is like the only TurboGrafx thing I've ever found ever in the wild. So I decided to pick it up. I mean, it was $4, but these typically go for like $25 on eBay. So I figured I would, pick this up. Basically, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I don't have a TurboGrafx yet. I haven't seen one out in the wild yet, so I thought maybe if I got this, it might bring the karma my way or something like that as far as finding one. Something that I did forget to mention here, and I actually picked up at the Tri-City Video Game Swap, was a whole bunch of the Nintendo sleeves. I got these for $10. I didn't get this particular stack for $10. This is part of the stack. This is the stuff I've cleaned so far. I actually ended up getting, I think it was like 34 sleeves just for putting on my games for $10. I thought it was a pretty good deal because typically speaking, at the game shows, for some reason, vendors are charging like $1 for these and like $2 for NES sleeves with the Nintendo logo on them, and these plain ones are charging like $1 for them. So I thought it was a pretty good deal to get all of them for like $10. I'll be able to sleeve up some of my sleeves, which are pretty cool right there. And then moving on, this is something I picked up from the Value Village. It's kind of, from the Value Village. It's kind of filthy, but I'll clean it up. And it's a Super Nintendo system. It has 2 controllers, but nothing else. I have a power supply for this, and I do have a AV cable, so I'll be able to sort of like, whatever you call it, like complete it basically. And I'll be reselling this, obviously. It's really disgusting though. Nathan, who's a fellow collector that I always see like at the Value Village, basically said this had come out. I don't know why he didn't bother picking it up. I did though. And what I did was I used a 30% off card on this, so I ended up getting it for I think like $23 with taxes and everything. So I'll be able to clean that up and basically resell it. Hopefully it works. I mean, it is pretty gross, but ideally I've never really had a lot of problems with Super Nintendo's working, so pretty happy with that. Also at the same Value Village, and something he also left behind, this was on a different day, is a copy of Super Mario 64. Nathan was already in the store before me, but he didn't pick this up. I think he said he already had it, so he didn't really want it. I, on the other hand, will probably end up flipping this because I think it's pretty good, and the label's really minty. But a copy of Super Mario 64, it's the Player's Choice, Player's Choice Edition. But, not too bad at all, really. And they had $14.99 on $15, so pretty reasonable. I think for this game I could probably double my money on that, so not too bad. And I guess Kijiji is not dead. Kijiji is Canada's kind of version of Craigslist, although we do have Craigslist as well and a variety of other like Let Go type apps or whatever. Kijiji is sort of like one of the main ones, and basically right now it's been like absolutely flooded with like resellers. People just massively overcharging, hoping that somebody would, buy their stuff kind of thing, and a lot of the stuff just sort of sits there and nobody really buys it because people looking at that usually know the values of these things. But this person probably didn't know the value of the things that they had. We had a pretty big listing of different kinds of games and systems and all that kind of stuff. It was all handheld. We had like a DS and some games for it, some Yu-Gi-Oh kind of games I wasn't really interested in, but he did have 3 games from there that I was really interested in, and all his Game Boy Advance games were $5 each. So for $5 I picked up Mega Man Battle Network 4 Red Sun, which I didn't have in my collection, so that's kind of nice. I have like the other versions of this, but not this particular one, so that was kind of cool. And then something I already have in my collection is Pokemon Emerald, so I got that for $5. That was pretty sweet. And then also Pokemon Leaf Green, so really sweet deal right there for $15 to pick up those 3 games, and 2 of them I'll easily recoup my investment on that, and I'll get to keep one for free, and that's how collecting goes basically. As far as That deal though was really weird because it was posted, I don't know exactly when it was posted, but I messaged him as soon as I saw it, and I inquired about those games, and he didn't get back to me for like, I think it was like probably 20 hours kind of thing. Like it sat there basically until the next night, um, which is kind of interesting that those games for $5 each would sit there that long. But he messaged me back and then said when I went to pick them up, he said that people were messaging specifically about just those 3 games, and every single email he was getting was just about those games, which is kind of interesting that the way things work out there, that someone wouldn't try to sort of like up the amount if he was like, oh, it's going to somebody else. I guess me being that person, if it was going to somebody else, that they wouldn't like offer $10 or something like that, which is kind of the move that people would do these days on that kind of site, but they didn't. So it was kind of weird that he had gotten a number of emails but didn't really bother to look up the price or up it at the last second. So I was able to score that, so pretty happy with that kind of deal. I think that's everything this time around, so thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.